Hello, everyone. This is Tom Fox back again with Michael and Melissa Novelli for another episode of the award-winning Pawtastic Friends, the Paw Talk. Welcome back, guys.
Thanks,
Thank
Tom. Never
you.
gets old hearing the award-winning Paw Talk that you created. So kudos to you.
Today, guys, we've got three dogs, Luca, Artemis, and then a successful adoption of Otto. And I always loved Otto, the way you guys talked about him. But let's start with Luca. Who can tell me about Luca?
So Luca is a little white pupperoo that goes to swim class. And why does he go to swim class, Melissa?
Um, Luca was pulled from the Animal Foundation, which is the local shelter, in 2022 by one of our amazing partners, House of Second Chances. They have some great dedicated people that run that organization. Was adopted out in 2023, and he came back in 2024 with a broken back. So Luca, he gets around with his wheelchair and he navigates through life now with his little wheelchair. He is enrolled in our swim class and is doing amazing. The magic of the water that Canine Aquatics provides really is helpful for dogs like Lucas, gives them a little mobility, low buoyancy exercise. And he's just a great dog, very sweet and just a little different, but sometimes different is good.
And seeing him in the videos in the water that we post up on our social media, it's so heartwarming because he's having so much fun and enjoying himself.
So, what kind of family would be a good candidate for a dog like Luca, guys?
Luca would need a family that is very patient, dedicated to his care, can help him continue to enjoy life and all it has to offer. But because he has special needs, somebody who has the time and can dedicate that time and patience and compassion to him, and somebody that's never going to let him down.
Does he have a little cart he ties up to, or how does he get around?
The wheelchair.
Wheelchair.
Yeah, he
Okay.
has a wheelchair. So he gets in there and he's,
It goes.
yeah.
Yeah. I've had a tripod. What's the difference in that sort of handicap with what Luca has? And does it really make a difference to the dog in terms of how much they love you?
I don't think so. I think he just loves life and he's happy to be around. And the rescue has provided a lot of resources for him to help him enjoy his life. The only thing is that he can't get around. He may have some issues with bathroom. I'm not familiar too much about that, but like I said, I mean, he still gets around. And if he has a family, maybe like a retired person, maybe somebody that works from home, somebody that can give him all the love he deserves, he's just a special needs guy, very special.
All right. Next up is Artemis. Who can tell me about Artemis?
So Artemis is with our partners over at Kiss My Paws, and he's been a rescue for over 2 years. We've met Artemis multiple times, and he's a fantastic dog. He's in a foster home, right?
Mhm.
And the problem is out here in Las Vegas, the dog population is so
Overwhelming.
overwhelming, and there's just not enough homes for all these dogs. I mean, we know people that have 5 dogs, 7 dogs. They're doing crate and rotate. We always try to tell people this goes back to the old Bob Barker, help control the pet population, every pet spayed and neutered, because too many dogs are getting euthanized because there's just not enough room for them. We need to stop the backyard breeding and, you know, sales in the pet stores and help the rescue dogs like Artemis. He's a great dog.
And that's another great point that Michael brought up is so when a dog is in foster and it ends up being, you want a dog to go into foster to transition. Same thing with boarding, same things to shelters. It's a transitionary period, a week, 2 weeks, they get adopted, the next dog goes in. But the problem is that dogs that are going into foster and boarding situations are not getting adopted as quickly. So they're in the foster homes for extended periods of time. Therefore, when a dog is with a foster for a year or 2 years, that takes away from another dog coming out. But there's so many dogs and not enough people. And that's why we started the foster initiative project to encourage the public to come out and learn about fostering and learn about all the opportunities. It's not just long-term fostering, it's emergency fostering, hospice fostering, overnight fostering, foster field trips. There's so much. And if the community could come together and we could all work towards combating this problem, I I'm confident that we could do that.
Tell me a little bit about your foster initiative because I know you started it, I think, in last summer, but how is that going for Pawtastic Friends?
Foster Initiative project, it's going good. It's not moving as quickly as I would like it to. But we're lucky because we have a tremendous amount of committed volunteers that show up the first Sunday of every month. We have the rescues and shelters that come every month and are in it for the long haul until the program gets going. It was very successful in December. We had a good turnout, and January, it's football season. It's right after the new year. So we were hoping people would have new intentions, new resolutions for 2025, including fostering. And we had some people come out, and we hope it just keeps growing. The more people that know about it and share it, the more opportunities, for the
And
dogs.
it's educating people what fostering is. And there's no cost to people by fostering a dog. The rescues pay for everything. And we've had an agreement with all the rescues that we work with that they need to provide, beds, food, medical, all that stuff. And, the majority of them do. So people just need to understand what fostering is. And that's what's great about this program that Melissa was the brainchild, of course, because she has all the ideas. And, getting these dogs homes. I mean, real quick, tell them about Sonny and Brando. That was a success story.
Sonny and Brando was probably the greatest foster. There was a few of them, but Sonny and Brando, they rated in boarding for almost 3 years. Their family took them and never came back for them. And a couple came to our first foster fair and they had lost their dog and they were interested in a bonded pair and they cried and I cried and they met Sonny and Brando and they took them in and thank God, because Brando was diagnosed with osteosarcoma, an aggressive cancer, and he had to have his leg removed and is going through chemo. And I'm so grateful that he's with a foster recovering and going through this in a home rather than a kennel. He now swims in our program. They brought him in a few weeks ago,
We were all crying.
December, and they brought him in and said that he wanted to come in and say thank you. And I mean,
That's what this center was built for, those moments when you can help change lives.
Let me end this section by asking what kind of dog is Artemis? But more importantly, what kind of family would be good candidate to adopt Artemis?
He's a big boy. I don't know if I would do any little kids. I would do probably teenagers and above, but friendly dog. It just needs a chance like all of them.
Is he dog friendly with other dogs?
yes, I believe he is.
Okay. Now let's get to Otto because I've heard you guys talk about Otto and you guys both already have smiles on your face. So tell us who adopted Otto and how that happened.
Otto was one of my other boys, and oh my gosh, I just loved spending time with him. And the day that I got him to come to the center to do a training session was probably a day that just changed his life. I had never seen his tail wag so much, and he did so good. And you saw this dog come out that I didn't even know was in there every week and just had so much fun, so smart, so eager to learn. And he actually got adopted by someone who had known him in the past. And she was working hard to get her own place and so she could come and adopt him. And eventually she did. And I cried. I mean, it was just so magical. He's doing great. She keeps in touch and sends pictures. And hopefully he's going to be joining a group class too. But just, it was such a transformation when I was watching on the camera and I saw this dog become everything he could be. I was like, wow, you know.
Michael, do you know what number Otto was?
721.
All right. You guys have a fundraising event coming up. So I was wondering if you could tell our audience a little bit about that and how they might prepare or how they might be able to donate during the event.
It's a really big fundraiser for us. It's called Jordan's Way. And Chris, that runs Jordan's Way. He travels the country visiting shelters and rescues. He does a 3 hour live from the rescue or the nonprofit, and he's been there before. And it's just a night of fun where we played games where people get pies in the face if we raise so much money and eggs. And
And you get locked in a
yeah,
kennel.
locked in a
and
kennel, and people got to get you out. We did a ice bucket challenge, and it was freezing last time we did it. So we raised a little over
A little over, I think,
14,000 last time, which helps pays a lot of bills, because, this center costs us about 225 to 250 a year to run because we have a high rent. We pay the trainers. We have to pay the electric bills, all the costs of running a facility. So this is a really important fundraiser for us. For people that tune in on Facebook, that's where the fundraiser will be from 6 to 9 p.m. Pacific time, January 26th.
Yeah, and we are looking for perhaps businesses that might want to match donations. So if somebody has a business and they want to support a good cause, perhaps they'll consider Pawtastic Friends, and maybe from 6 to 6:30 they can do a matching donation or something like that, to help get us to our goal, which is 25,000.
Yeah, we up the ante. 25.
Wow.
So we got a lot to
That-
do. We have some commitments from local police, and we're working on getting the fire department here and maybe having a little police fire battle and have some of the athletes from some of the teams and maybe some local entertainers. We're working on some different things. We want to make it really different and special.
That's great. Guys, unfortunately, we are near the end of our time for this episode, but I hope our listeners will join us again for our next time. Thanks so much, guys.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Tom.